When I started helping my mom, I thought I was just stepping in a little, helping with appointments, being there when she needed support. I didn't realize I was stepping into something that would change my life. If you're helping an aging parent and trying to figure out what to do next, you're not alone. Hi, I'm Stacy, and welcome to the Aging Parent Guide. I work in healthcare, and I've also spent many years helping my own family navigate aging, illness, and major life transitions. And today, I want to share what I wish I knew before I started helping my parents. Because I think a lot of us go into this without really understanding what it's going to feel like. I think I expected caregiving to be one big moment, like something would happen and suddenly I would step into this role. But that's not how this works. This doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up on you. It starts with small things, appointments, helping here and there. And at first, it doesn't feel like a big shift. It just feels like you're being helpful. But over time, those small things start to add up. And one day you realize this isn't temporary. This is part of your life now. I expected it to be hard logistically, but I didn't expect it to be this emotional. There's guilt, frustration, sometimes resentment, and then you feel guilty for even feeling that way. No one talks about this part because it's uncomfortable to admit. And it is even more complicated when your relationship with your parent isn't easy to begin with. That's been my experience with my mom. We don't have the easiest relationship. She can be very stubborn, and so can I. She can be very defensive and difficult to communicate with. And caregiving has amplified that. There are moments where I feel like I'm parenting my own parent, and that's a really hard thing to sit with. This was one of the hardest lessons for me. You want to help. You want to fix things. You want them to make better choices, but you can't control everything. And working in healthcare has reinforced this for me constantly. I see patients all the time who are told exactly what they need to do. Take medications, change their diet, be more active, and they don't. And that used to frustrate me because you care so much. You want better for them. But over time, I realized something. I can't care more than they care. That has become my mantra in both my personal and professional life. I can't care more than you care. And I've had to apply that to my mom. I will show up, I will support her, I will help guide her. But I can't force her to make the choices I think she should make. And if you're watching this thinking, this is exactly how I feel, you're not the only one. I didn't realize how much time this would take, not just physically, but mentally. Thinking about appointments, keeping track of everything, planning ahead. It's not just time, it's the mental space it takes up. It's like part of your brain is always on. Even when you're not with them, you're thinking about them. Another thing I wasn't fully prepared for is how uneven caregiving can feel. I have a brother, and while he helps when he can, I've taken on most of the responsibility. The appointments, the logistics, the day-to-day support. And I think that happens a lot in families. One person quietly becomes the default, and that can feel heavy. even if no one is doing anything wrong. It just naturally falls on one person. I thought at some point these conversations would get easier. Talking about safety, talking about needing help, talking about change, but they don't. You just get more practiced at having uncomfortable conversations. And you learn which battles are worth pushing and which ones aren't. This has been one of the biggest lessons for me. Boundaries are not optional. They're necessary, especially if your relationship is already difficult. With my mom, I've had to limit how much time I can spend with her sometimes. Not because I don't care, but because I need to protect my own mental and emotional health. And this is something I had to learn the hard way. Loving someone shouldn't mean losing yourself. There's a shift that happens where you start to see risks they don't see. You see what could happen next. You see the decline, the safety concerns, and carrying that awareness can feel really heavy. One of the biggest things I wish I knew is how many people are going through this. It can feel isolating, but so many people are navigating this exact same stage of life. If I could go back, I would start working on building boundaries now. I would start talking with my siblings about caring for our aging parents. And I would work on giving myself some grace and prioritizing self-care. Because this is not something you do perfectly. If you're in this right now and it feels harder than you expected, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means this is hard. If this is something you're going through, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, because I think a lot of people feel this way and don't talk about it. And if you want help navigating specific parts of this, I've created videos on safety, family dynamics, and next steps to help you move forward. Please consider subscribing as I share real-life guidance and support for navigating caregiving, from the practical steps to the emotional side that people don't always talk about. I'll see you in the next video.